mic working? Can you hear me? Can we test the PowerPoint to make sure this actually works? Stop shaking. Where do I need to point?
The power on the clicker.
Power on the clicker. There we go. Does it work? There we go. Cool. All right. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure that you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. So, my name is Christopher W. Reynolds, as you were told. I've been a student here at Concordia for 3 years now. I'm about to graduate. Everyone in this room who is a student is required to take a course called Life and Leadership. And as part of Life and Leadership, we use this book up on the screen that I'm not looking at right now. Habitudes by Dr. Tim Elmo. Habitudes are really simple. Like Jesus used imagery in his parables to symbolically teach his lessons. Habitudes, such as personal laptop, are simple images that any college student, pretty much anyone, has seen in their life, and uses it to explain a metaphor about Christian leadership. In the case of the one that's impacted me the most, personal laptop, it's that right there. Garbage in, garbage out. The way we work is that our brains are like a computer. It saves everything we experience and see. So, if we have bad influences through media or our thoughts, it is going to result in bad spiritual health for ourselves. That's pretty simple to see. And kids are really impressionable, so why don't we play a little game? I'm going to pop up some images on the screen, and I just want to see a show of hands. How many of you would prevent children from seeing these? Any of the Saw movies? Okay, that was pretty quick. Yeah, there's body mutilation in there. It's a scary bloody mess. What about Strokemon, the XXX Pokemon parody? Please do not ask me how I know that exists. I censored that for you, by the way. That question mark is hiding something, and you don't want to know what it is. Yeah, obviously you wouldn't show it. It's porn. Alright, what about V.C. Andrews' Flowers in the Attic? That's a story where grandparents put their children into an attic and lock them there, where they end up having sex incestuously. Show of hands? Yeah, that was pretty obvious. No, you wouldn't, because the content is inappropriate. Garbage in, garbage out. So if this content is not okay, then why are we letting kids read the Bible? There you go. The Bible has that content, and doesn't hide it, and doesn't attempt to explain it away. So here are 2 examples why I feel the Bible should not be in the hands of children. Let's go to Genesis 19:30-36. Do you guys remember Lot from Sodom and Gomorrah? He and his daughters escaped. Wife turned into a pillar of salt. Well, they're afraid of people somewhere else, so they're living in a cave now, because people in Zone are going to murder them. They're by themselves in the cave, obviously, which means no kids, no family, which is bad for the daughters. So the oldest daughter says to the younger, hey, why don't we get our dad drunk, have sex with him, and then have his children in order to preserve our family line? That would be a bad thing. That's more or less the reason why Sodom and Gomorrah happened. And they go ahead and go through with their plan. They get Lot drunk. They have sex with Lot. It works so well the first night when the older sister has sex with Lot that she turns around to the younger sister and says, let's just do it again so you can get pregnant. And they do. They get pregnant by their father, suffering no punishment. Incest is not appropriate, and technically, that wasn't just incest, that was incestual rape. Lot was not given the opportunity to say yes or no, and it was done to him twice. And this is in the Bible, shortly after a story that everyone knows about. Now, let's go ahead and move on a little bit. You guys remember David? You know, David and Goliath. He swung a stone, hit a giant dude in the head. He went on to be a famous soldier. And he fell in love with King Saul's daughter. Love at first sight. I wasn't. But what we do know is that King Saul wanted David dead. So he came up with a Grinchy Grinch of an idea when he found out that David was in love with his daughter. He sent a messenger to David saying, you don't need to bring any money for a dowry because you're broke. We just want 100 foreskins of the Philistines. If you bring that, you can marry Michal, Saul's daughter. Now, you should know the Philistines, they don't practice circumcision. That was not a part of their culture. So that's really hard to do. David want to get married. And Saul said, okay, sure, please don't kill me. Which naturally would be the response if someone brought you 200 foreskins, probably taken from dead men. Oh, I'm sorry. The chain probably looked more like that. Violence, ownership of women, incestuous rape. This material appears more than just once or twice in the Bible. It appears multiple times. So really, we're at a crossroads. If Concordia is big on the idea that habitudes is true, and that garbage in, garbage out is a thing, that if we take in problematic elements, we will become problematic and it will taint us and scar us, then we're at a crossroads. We can't tell children that the Bible's okay, but any other secular content with that material is not okay. We cannot be hypocrites. We must be true. So do we stop children from consuming any media with questionable content, including the Bible? Or do we let children consume questionable media, including the Bible? The answer is obvious. If we're going to go with the classes here at Concordia and the Bible itself, ban children from the Bible. Because honestly, it's what Jesus would want.